Again, some questions are there which we have to answer here. Let's see. Which are the destructive effects of flood? So, flood shows the destructive effects like waterlogged or waterlogging, drowning, or collapse due to surge of water. Houses, trees can be collapsed, plants can be uprooted, and then various diseases are seen due to flood. So, due to moist condition, diseases, epidemics, diseases are spread. So, these are the destructive effects of flood. Second is, which are the effects of dry famine? So, dry famine, due to dry famine, crops can dry, or no, if no proper irrigation method is there, so, or a dry famine can be caused by severe food shortage also. So all, due to all these things, water is dearth and cattle die, human beings are forced to migrate from one place to another place. So these are the effects of dry famine. Third is, which are the destructive effects of earthquake? So the destructive effects of earthquake are buildings, or large devastation is seen, buildings can be damaged, then electricity and water supply can be disturbed, है ना? So all these are, and it also damages the property and human life or lives of animals. Next is, what is forest fire? What is the effect on environment? So forest fire is the largely spread fire in trees, grasses and shrubs in forest land, and which increases high end the temperature is called forest fire, and the effect of forest fire is greatly devastating on environment. Biodiversity is lost, plants, animals can be lost, then vegetations in forest is becomes dead. So all these are smoke is also, that means air pollution is caused due to forest fire. So let's see the effects of disaster. So here we have understood the serious effects of disaster with the help of above mentioned questions. Collapsing of bridge, flooding of coastal villages, storage of food are some of the problems of flood. Collapsing of houses, developing cracks in the land are some of the effects of earthquake. Disasters like forest fire and drought also adversely affect on environment. As we have seen, we have answered these questions. So, however, what is exact nature of this disaster? Whether there are any changes in the nature before the occurrence of disaster? No, there is no change. Sometimes it shows the intuition, but there is no change before the disaster occurring. For how long the effects occur after occurrence of the disaster? Sometimes the effects may be long term, sometimes it may be short term. So it needs to think all over all these aspects. This helps us to understand the nature and gravity of the disaster. Disasters definitely affect the economy of the nation. The effects is always relative to the disaster and economy. That means if any part is destroyed, there are long lasting effects on economy due to huge expenses on the reconstruction. An effect of disaster on social leadership is that if local leadership is not strong enough, citizens become confused. It affects the participation in rescue and rehabilitation activities. Administrative problems arise during the disaster. If local government bodies are affected by disaster, related departments cannot be answer the problems of disaster efficiently. So all the concerned departments are affected by disaster, and thereby entire system has been collapses. So different problems occur with disaster. In concept map which is shown or given below, let's see what will happen if the effect on yourself and surrounding if accident like disaster occurs. during the sports and playground in the school. So we have seen a mock drill on it, on fire, or on we can be prepared for the accidents on playground. We prepare first aid, isn't it? So a first aid box is there for the basic need. So here disaster, some effects are shown here. Let's see. Disaster. In economic disaster, sudden increase in fund expenditure, shortage of funds for development of other sectors, decrease in productivity. Social. In case of social, here you have to write in your words. So in case of social disaster, we can, what we can say here, in case of social disaster, the effects will be people will become homeless as their houses will collapse since their belongings are lost. They will need for food, water, clothing and shelter. Crimes and theft will rise. Now, in case of environmental, the effects will be partial or complete collapsing building, drying out the water sources, contamination of water, stinky pollution of environment due to decomposing corpses of human and other animals. Now, in administrative, professional stress on workers, collapsing of transport systems, shortage of facilities are seen. In political, here the proper and strong leadership will provide help and care to victims. Government compensations will be given immediately. And in case of medical, the effects will be injuries, emotional, mental stress, increase in epidemics, death of victims are seen. So these are the effects which are shown here in this chart. So this chart is very important. It will be asked in exam. So you have to put your opinion according to the disaster. So